A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to International
Seminar,
Diagnostic Methods
for
Food
Food and Mouth Disease and African Swine Fever
using the
developed
rapid portable diagnostic device. Allow us to introduce myself. My name is Hasna Tarisa, and I'm here with
Raditya Widandi, and we will be your masters of ceremony for today's event.
It is such a great honor and pleasure for us to welcome all of you to today's international seminars here at IPB University.
First, let's give a big round of applause for our event today.
First, welcome to Rector IPB University, Professor Dr. Ari Satria, SPMSI.
First Vice Rector Viana.
Second Vice Rector, Dr. Altiawan Samet.
Third Vice Rector, Professor Dr. Indra, Master of Agriculture.
Chairman of the Senate, Professor Dr. Hewan Bambang Purwantara, Magister Sains.
Profesor Dr. Hewan Teguh Budi Pitojo, MP, PhD.
Dean of the School of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Science, IPB University, PhD. Vice Dean of the School of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Science, IPB University, Professor MP, PhD. Dr. Hewan Andrianto, MSc.
Chairman of the Alumni Association of the Faculty of Gunadi Setia Dharma, and our speaker today, Professor Dr. Nawaki Misawa, and of course to all.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we start our event, allow us to introduce our moderator
Moderator, Dr. Hewan Dordia Anindita Rotinsulu, DVM MSI, is a lecturer at the Division of Medical Microbiology, School of and Biomedical Sciences. She currently serves as Deputy Director for International Program Services at the WOAH University. Her expertise lies in veterinary microbiology, infectious diseases, and zoonotic pathogens and animal health. She earned her PhD from Justus Liebig University, Gießen, Germany, where she studied the molecular microbial susceptibility of bacteria.
Dr. Rotinsulu has received several prestigious awards and scholarships, including a DAA, was the most outstanding student in Indonesia. She has also participated in various international academic exchange programs and journals. Through her teaching, research, and collaboration, she actively advances veterinary medicine while fostering international cooperation in higher education. It is our pleasure to invite her on stage. And everyone, please welcome
Good morning, ladies and warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Professor Amrosi, Dean of the School of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, all distinguished guests from the Association of Veterinary Faculties in Indonesia, the private sector, who are gathered together here in this wonderful day. Welcome to the International Seminar on Diagnostic Methods for Food and African Swine Fever using the developed Rapid Portable Diagnostic Device at IPB University Bogor, Indonesia. Both on-site and also online to engage in this important discussion on advanced, most economically devastating animal diseases worldwide, foot-mouth disease and also African swine fever. Privilege to introduce our distinguished speaker, Professor Naoaki Mizawa. Professor Dr. Naoaki Mizawa, appointed professor and professor emeritus at the University of Miyazaki, Japan, where he previously served Center for Animal Disease Control, or KEDIC. As the principal investigator of the results, including the development of rapid diagnostic methods for significant transboundary animal diseases, including foot-mouth disease, the of environmental purification technologies using volcanic ash soils, and the development of disinfection and washing systems. Ladies and gentlemen, his research has contributed significantly in livestock health management, and also he has received several awards for his contribution to veterinary medicine and international partnership aimed at preventing infectious disease. Today, he will share with us the development diagnostic for FMD and also ISF technologies that hold significant promise for disease detection. So now, without further delay, please join me in welcoming Professor Naoaki Mizawa. Professor, the floor is.
Good morning. My name is Misawa. Thank you for the kind introduction. Today, I'm very happy. This is my third visit to IPB. So, and she introduced me. Now I'm working at Thailand. And as you know, important livestock infectious diseases occurred in Asian countries such as FMD, African swine fever, or lambskin disease. So our mission of the Satoris project is to develop a rapid diagnosis of this malignant infectious disease and goes after the of livestock animals. And also, we have to pay attention to the today, I would like to introduce our new technology for the rapid and sensitive diagnosis using a portable device and for the FMD, ASF, and the lambskin. Our seminar using a slide. Oh, so first of all, let me introduce our university. So it's located in Kyushu Island in Japan. As you may know, Japan is divided into 4 major islands: Hokkaido, Honshu, Shikoku, and Kyushu. Our Kyushu Island, and so and much rain and humidity, so it's like Indonesia. So and this picture is universities. About 45 years ago, from the central city to the rural area to integrate the all faculties. So right picture showed that, yeah, yesterday we met our student, doctoral graduate student, and I'm very happy they are very fine. And some of them are working here. And also Miyazaki Prefecture, Japan divided into the 47 area we call prefecture. And Miyazaki Prefecture is one of the base of the livestock production. And especially the famous product is Miyazaki beef, we call Miyazaki Gyu. And we have a competition of the Wagyu meat, black beef meat. And Miyazaki won the championship twice. So Miyazaki beef is very famous in not only Japan, but also the USA. So we export USA and EU countries. So, and recently we have a halal meat slaughterhouse in Miyazaki. So if you have a chance, please try the Miyazaki beef. Unfortunately, 2010, huge outbreak of FMD. And under the law of the prevention of animal infectious diseases in Japan, we have to killed, we called destroyed all infected animals. Japan doesn't use the vaccine for the FMD because before this outbreak, almost 100 years, we never seen the FMD. So we need to use the vaccine. However, now it's due to the globalization, many humans, many materials are transported. So it's very difficult to prevent such a FMD at airport or seaport. So there is a limit to prevent these animals. And in that time, 2010, almost 290,000 cattle and pig killed. And this is a central area of the FMD. First case here. And the next is here. So blue color is a cattle farm, and the red color is a pig. So outbreak occurred in cattle farm, and then among the cattle farm. And number 6 is a water buffalo. And once infected FMD virus to the cattle, so clear clinical sign. So we didn't know FMD occurred in Miyazaki. Especially the water buffalo never showed any clinical sign. However, just 1 month before the outbreak, water buffalo showed a diarrhea or milk production reduction. So initial case, maybe it's suspected the first case maybe occurred in water buffalo because 1 month before the outbreak, animal hygiene center or blood and bring to the National Institute of Animal Health and diagnose as FMD. So FMD virus is introduced the area before the first case. So, and once invade into the pig farm, so the virus is dramatically amplified and spread. So it's very, very difficult to control. So in around 200 outbreak occurred in Miyazaki. Yeah, yeah. So based on this experience, our president of our university decided we should set up the Center for Animal Disease much work to the usually so we run the microbiology, but not prevent how to prevention of infectious disease. So this our center is to educate how to control the infectious disease. So this center set up the 2011 director in that time. So and during the time we have to do the transboundary infectious disease. That right side is a CT scan for the black beef cattle. So this is not diagnosis of disease. We can diagnose as a marbling of the meat. So it's very. And so after the experience of the FMD outbreak, so so this slide shows what we learned to the entry of the malignant epidemics in the globalization. Yeah, in that time, outbreak, same FMD huge outbreak occurred in UK, South Korea. We never pay attention about this fact. And second is lack of the practical prevention system based on risk assessment. So as I mentioned before, just we learn the microbiology, but not run the epidemiological tool. So we cannot estimate spreading image. So we realize we need to the risk assessment for the prevention of disease. And third is a lack of the specialists with risk management skill. After that, we created the laboratory of epidemiology based on gas. And fourth, a lack of veterinarians who are experienced in the handling of livestock animals. Yeah, today, about vet school with Dr. Subankit. Yeah, in our school in Japan, almost 60%, 70% are women. And they want to be a small livestock animal clinic. And in that case, we have to stamping out the cattle and pigs. Big cattle is around more than 600 kilograms. So using accessible anesthesia, so we kill the cattle, but it's very, very difficult because young people never experienced to handle that. And lastly, the importance of the development of the international network countries, because Japan as well as Indonesia are islands. So disease can be done to prevent the front line or airport. But there is a limitation. So we need collaboration with Asian countries to prevent such boundary diseases. So our conclusion is three. So research on comprehensive prevention, not only focus on the microbiology, so look at that all strategy, include just one part of the microbiology. And second is human resource. So young people never experience such a huge outbreak, so they don't know how to manage. So with development of human resource, and finally the international cooperation. So we suffered COVID-19 from the 2020. So we collaboration, certainly, yeah, we hope the collaboration, but now we can do that. And before our University of Miyazaki and IPP has a long history of the collaboration. Professor Bamba Ponjo was the first PhD student in our university from IPP. Around 30 years, more than 30 years, we continue to collaborate each other. We applied the international collaboration application and accepted. And I visited here and MOU, and our collaboration space was set up in IPP, maybe in the Faculty of Veterinary Science building. And also, we collaborate discussion with Udaya University, Nusa Tenggara University, and Bogor Agricultural University, now IPB. So COVID-19, we started how to collaborate each other. And then it's a Papa meeting was held in Bali, and Professor Bambam organized a collaboration meeting, the joint seminar. So this is a picture of the collaboration. So and COVID-19, so we cannot collaborate. So from now, we would like to so look at the outbreak report by WOAH. So this is a SF and classical fever. So as shown in this slide, so SF spread for the Japan, Taiwan. However, it's very high risk to introduce to our country. And also CSF, Japan was free of the CSF around 40 years. However, 2 years ago, some people bring the raw meat and have a barbecue in the park and out the raw meat, and the wild boar eat there. And then the And this slide shows the FMD and the lamp skin. So look at the FMD, just Asian country and African country still outbreak occurred. And for the last, positive. So, and last year, lamb skin invaded into Kyushu Island. And now, more than 100 incidents in Japan. So, even in the island, the transboundary infection to support 30% of livestock production in the world until 2050. And their slogan is kitchen of the world. And look at the current situation and the issue in the livestock industry in ASEAN countries. The livestock product exportation is restricted by transboundary infectious disease. And also, I report new transboundary infectious disease such as ASF, rump skin is occurred in Asian country, and epidemics of livestock infectious disease causing decreased livestock productivity. So that means if we cannot prevent these infectious diseases, the huge economic loss occurs. So we need to prevent. Sorry. So and after the 2020, we started the Satoris project in Thailand, and this to solve the issue in the livestock production in the previous slide. So we thought we should develop the rapid and simple diagnosis system implementable at on-site, not laboratory. It's important on-site of the transboundary infectious diseases. And then this technology enabled early detection of infectious animals of farms and the rapid initial response to quarantine after the occurrence of the infectious disease. So the key point is early detection. And based on this result, we have to rapid initial response. It's very important. And method available. And the first is today's introduced the PICO-gene, portable gene amplification, real-time PCR. And second is ramp, portable ramp. And third is immunochromatogy. So now there are three major of real-time PCR with gene. Picogene is a very small, I bring here device in the real-time PCR. And we use small chip. And the mechanism is very simple. So this is a real-time PCR, just the mixture of read and DNA mixed and load in the micro probe, and this device change simple and rapid diagnosis on site. Next is African swine fever, and it's the same. We decide the target gene and design the primer and the probe, and then we so examine the most appropriate condition, what temperature for the denatures is good, or what temperature for the extension is good. So we examine some factors, and finally we make a protocol of the diagnosis. So as shown this slide, standard method and Picogene method is very good correlationship, so we can use the ASF diagnosis using this device. And this is a lump skin. Lump skin also already established the Picogene diagnosis. So today I don't show the slide, but this slide shows the educational materials. I took 3D camera and LSD affected animal. So, and now take a 3D camera so we can observe the region, every angles using a smartphone. So now we collect such educational materials in Thailand. And this slide shows my recommendation of the countermeasure for the prevention of infectious diseases. So maybe many countries is divided into the provincial or district level and regional level and national level. And also there are several livestock animal quarantine stations. So, but national level should be diagnosed using golden standard method or recommended. However, the front line of the livestock farms and animals, so at the program, we need to reach the device, and if show positive, we can take a rapid response for the countermeasure for the prevention. So positive samples should be sent to the next and first, so they need to send the sample to the national and we never, so we are working at university, but we could not handle this because the law of the prevention in Japan prohibit handle the institute. So can do any route diagnostic on site can however we have spread. However, the rapid response measure for the prevention measures need the first screening. This is a conclusion. So we have a rapid diagnosis tool. Also need accurate diagnosis. And regarding the FMD, without FMD, several diseases are known. So we need to the diagnose system to define. So before that using, we need training. And is outdoor and national livestock group. So need adequate power. So last it's a transboundary outbreak is to the firefight. If the fire is small, it's easy to put. But if the fire is spread, it's very, very difficult to shut down. So its situation is very similar to the infectious diseases. This is my final opinion. So this last Monday, Tuesday, I Nusa Tunga province, and I try to wear the traditional wear and take a picture. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Misawa, for that insightful and also comprehensive presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the question. For the participant on site, raise your hand and wait for the microphone for asking your question. And for those who are joining us online, you may type your question in the chat box and we will read them out. So any question from the audience? Micro maybe better.
Check. Morning, Professor and Doctor. Ina. What I want to ask is it possible that future people will develop to take other and other diseases? Thank you.
Long for each disease. Does it mean that in one device we detect several diseases as long as we have the targets, for example, or should we use
Different machine.
one, or if we want to do we need a
chips in one box.
How much it costs? One box.
I cannot say exactly, but one reaction is, please translate Japanese yen to rupiah.
Rupiah.
So one reaction is around 2,000 yen.
2,000 yen,
2,000 yen.
200,000.
2,000 Japanese yen.
200,000.
However, but we don't need to diagnose one by one. So we can collect the sample and extract. And this device should be used. This farm is positive or not. So because FMD, there are many stages there. So we collect sample and diagnose is best way.
So it means that in samples. Eh?
Yeah,
Okay.
true.
Thank you, Professor.
So is this device already widely used in your country or maybe in Japan?
So now, so produced in Japan, sell in Japan only, but now we are sell in the world. Yes, so I contacted a Japanese trading company. So before Indonesia, I visited Manila, Philippines, and here. So, and next is maybe Malaysia. So they are very interested in our technology. So Japanese trade companies support us. So in near future, we can you can buy this device. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I open again the questions for from the audience. Since it will be used in the environment, of course, there are also some environmental challenges, and I wonder how durable and also how long can it be used under, like, let's say, extreme environmental condition, hot, cold, and so on. As if, and like here in the tropical climate, can we also use that well?
Okay, I forget to explain that. So now we already have a dry region. Dry region is no refrigerator. So we keep at least 3 months stable. So once the liquid region, just put distilled water and extract DNA or RNA, can use as a same level, detection level. So in the future, the dry region should be available. But in Japan, a dry region already available. But we can make by ourselves. So I recommend to use the dry region in the future.
Thank you, Professor. Yeah, yes, please.
Hello, Professor and Doctor. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Orizalida, and I would like to ask a question. Following Prof. Bambang's question, since the chip itself is non-reusable, is it only available for FMD and SF for now? But since you also mentioned that it can also be used for fungi and then bacteria and other stuff, is it possible that those chips for other microorganisms will be available in the future? Thank you.
Sure. Several detection kit is available. So from now, just in the gene bank, we have many sequence data available. So if we can design the new primer probe and check the specificity and the specialty, so it's every pathogen. not only the pathogen, but also the environmental microbiology, also fishery.
Thank you. Yeah. Any further questions? I see there. So at the back side.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Max, and I'd like to ask you, Prof, since this technology is relative in the field of PCR technology, and you also explained that in the future, you mentioned several times that in the future, like, how can this technology further improve as the technological advances continue to develop in the future? How can this be more widespread and more applicable to more users in the future? Do you understand my question?
Can this technology be expanded in the future?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, researcher, so not a businessman. So now I'm asking the trading company and the Regent company and Picogene company to sell in the world. So in the future, and this is very accuracy and no need maintenance. If drop the machine, it's broken, but almost no broken. So very stable. So in the future, I hope this tool is spread in the world.
Yeah, Professor Bambang.
Thank you very much, Prof. You mentioned a lot about end product, but maybe you can share how much time you spend for developing this system and how much the money you invest for this. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so yeah, it takes 5 years during the new technology. Yeah, but yeah, because in Japan we cannot handle the this virus, so we need to come to Thailand and collaborate. Yeah, it's a very difficulty, but now we can develop this diagnostic method. And now in Thailand, they try to make a SOP, standard operation procedure. And if it's accepted so as a standard method in Thailand.
As a standard method. Please.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Faiza. I want to ask, as you know, in lab, it's really uncommon to use the finger measure method to extract the DNA. And how can the finger measure method can extract any other method to extracting other than the finger measure method? Thank you.
Is there other methods to extract the RNA of this virus at the laboratory level?
So my answer is may be incorrect. To extract.
Yes, to extract the RNA from the sample.
Yeah. And so FMD sometimes take a sample from the proban, and also it's very sticky. And ASF, we sometimes take a blood. Blood is so, and we not heating. Sometimes this Picogene has a very small tube, so cannot flow if without pre-treatment. So for the extraction in each sample, if it's a sticky, to remove the mucoid material, heat, and then remove the blood materials. So, and it's okay, and sometimes dilute. But however, as you know, in the FMD, the number of virus is quite different. So we have to consider before sometimes we mix the acute phase and chronic phase. So, but the detection limit is almost same as a standard method. It's okay, but need to modify the extraction method. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We still have questions. Yes, please.
Hello, doctor and professor. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Vincentia Sene, and I would like to ask two questions. The first question is, as you said before, for each running, you could do a pooling of samples for each run. What is the maximum sample for each pooling, and is it the same for FMD and number of samples? And also the second question is, in Japan, is this device already used in and here in Indonesia, for if we want to transport animals, we have to get a lab with accreditation and the golden standard testing. For presentation that you showed, for a regional level, you could use the rapid test. Is in Japan, Japan recognize the device as a accurate and credible diagnostic method right now, or is it still not? Thank you.
So first question is so now this Picogene used that three kind of the fluorescent color for the diagnosis of just FMD only. So we need to check the positive control and the negative control, and then one sample used. However, yeah, because target gene is same, so we cannot use mixed positive control together. So we have to separate diagnosis should be done. However, if never try, but if target is FMD, ASF, lump skin, so it may be useful. Try. And second question is, sorry.
Is the rapid device wait. Does Japan recognize this rapid device credible and accurate method of testing for transferring animals between regions as of right now?
Just I think just your comment, but
so she's asking whether Japan already recognized this method as an accurate system to detect a disease, especially one animal needs to be moved from one place to another for quarantine or transportation purposes.
So now this is a almost research level or commercial level. So not so government accept method yet. So but in the company level, for example, some institute check COVID-19 in human. And also in a chicken farm, they used peanut butter detection from the feces. So in the future, I think it diagnostic kit and such a accreditation, and then so we can use. But now it's just only the research level and the commercial level. So established. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other question? Audience? Yes.
Thank you, Professor, for your time. My name is Marcia, and my question is, what are the limitations of the packaging technology right now? Thank you.
The limitations of this technology, the limitations,
Limitation means
maybe the disadvantages of this technology.
so it's got a limitation. So what do you image the limitation?
Maksudnya limitasi seperti apa misalnya?
Limitations such as the challenge the veterinarians going to face when using this technology.
Challenges when veterinarians want to use this technology on the field. Do they maybe need a special training to use it, or is it easy to use? For example, like that.
Yeah. So yesterday I had a workshop with the Asian people, but it's very easy. Very easy. But if so, for example, the basic technique such as a without glove, plastic glove, or use contaminator, or not sterilized tube, so it's contamination occurred. However, keep the basic technique, so it's okay. So everybody can use this technology. So not only the veterinarian, but also the other people can use this. So I hopefully I want to use this by farmers. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Unfortunately, due to time limitations, we have to close this question and answer session. But Professor, maybe I would like to ask more. How do you foresee technologies, for example, artificial intelligence, and also, for example, smartphone-based readouts, being future portable diagnostic devices?
So at the time, it's difficult to say the future situation. However, so many request this rapid and sensitive technology. So hopefully in the future, so technology is improving. So in that time, it's very useful too. Yeah. So
Thank you so much, Professor Misawa. Let's give a big applause to Professor Misawa for this very interesting discussion session. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, to give an appreciation, I would like to invite the School of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences to go to the stage to hand over the token of appreciation to Professor Misawa. Thank you very much, Professor Misawa and Professor Amrozi. We have now come to the end of this seminar. On behalf of the organizers, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to Professor Misawa for his presentation and for sharing his expertise with us today. I also want to thank all the participants for your active engagement and thoughtful question today. There were a lot of questions, and we hope that today's discussion will inspire continued collaboration and innovation in diagnostic tools and animal health. Thank you once again, and we look forward for welcoming you to our future seminar.
And before we end, there's also a documentation session for all the participants to join in. Maybe the committee can help take the pictures. Yeah. Please prepare for the documentation session. If the participants can please stand up so that people in the back can be seen from the camera, please. Please do stand. Okay, prepare your smiles. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much. To all the participants, before we continue to the next event, please do fill the form from the QR code in the display in the front. While we wait for everyone to finish filling out their form, we would like to ask 3 people that have the best question from our discussion earlier. So Intan, Faiza, and Vicencia can come up on stage to receive a reward for the best question.
The appreciation with Dr. Hewan Aulia Andi Mustika MSI.
Dr. Dordia to the souvenir awards are thanks to our sponsors for today's event, Zoetis Indonesia, MSD Animal Health, Indonesia, and Kemin Industry.
Finally, from the bottom of our hearts and on behalf of the International Seminar Committee, we apologize for any mistakes during the event. Thank you very much for your attention, and we would like to certainly thank our prepare to Chairman of the Senate, Professor Dr. Bambang Purwantara, Magister Science, Dean of the School of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Science, IPB University, Professor Dr. Hewan Amrozi, PhD, Vice Dean, Professor Dr. Hewan Iwayan Kurniani Karja, MP PhD, Dr. Hewan Aulia Andi Mustika, MSI.
And to our sponsors, Zoetis Indonesia, MSD Animal Health, PT Eka Pharma Indonesia, PT MV Indonesia, and Kemin Industry.
Siapa yang mau hadiah?
Siapa yang mau?
Yang udah nggak boleh ya. Kalau yang hadiah, coba nih. Kita pemanasan dulu kali ya.
Pemanasan dulu.
Siapa yang bisa sebutin sponsor kita hari ini? Belum. Sekarang tadi yang lihat kali ya, biar adil. Lihat yang berdiri duluan ya.
Oke, berdiri ya.
Bukan kita pada pagi hari ini. Yang mana Radit? Silakan pilih Radit. Boleh. Semangat banget nih kayaknya.
Oke. Untuk sponsor hari ini ada PT Eka Pharma, ada MV Industri dan PT MV Indonesia dan Kemin Industri dan FSD. MSD, Zoetis ya.
Oke, betul. Boleh Radit kasih pertanyaan kedua Radit.
Oke, pertanyaan kedua ini akan sedikit mikir ya teman-teman.
Siap-siap ya, pokoknya berhubungan dengan sponsor kita hari ini. Ada Zoetis, MSD, kemudian ada apa lagi Radit?
Ada Kemin Industri, ada PT MV Indonesia, dan PT Eka Pharma.
Jangan searching ya pertanyaan kedua.
Oke, pertanyaan kedua. Terkait salah satu sponsor kita. Coba sebutkan, apa itu Zoetis dan bekerja di bidang apa?
Belum. Udah siap? Udah siap? Radit, perhatiin ya Radit ya.
Oke, siap.
Kanan kiri semuanya. Satu. Yang itu.
Ulang kali Kak, ulang.
Ulang dulu.
Duduk lagi.
Jangan lupa sebelah kiri dulu ya. Yang mana Radit?
Kayaknya ini Kak.
Oh, tengah. Tadi pertanyaannya apa itu Zoetis dan bergerak di bidang apa?
Jadi Zoetis itu adalah industri produk veteriner yang bergerak di bidang vaksin dan obat hewan.
Gimana Kak jawabannya?
Betul. Kayaknya tadi yang tengah banyak banget ya dapat hadiah ya. Ini yang ujung mau dapat hadiah kan? Kurang semangat ya. Tapi tenang, kita masih banyak hadiah ya Radit ya.
Ayo yang kanan dan yang kiri ya.
Masih tentang sponsor hari ini. Boleh deh sambil searching dulu. Yang kanan, yang kiri ya. Jangan mau kalah sama yang tengah. Ketiga. Fokus PT Eka Pharma ke hewan apa aja sih? Nah, ini gampang nih. PT Eka Pharma fokusnya ke hewan apa aja? Aku di sini. Radit lihat ya.
Aku liatin yang ini.
1, 2, 3. Ini kita searching dulu harus bener ya.
PT Eka Pharma punya dokaul, jadi fokusnya ke hewan ternak, obat, juga ada herbalnya juga kalau nggak salah. Ada sapi, unggas kan banyak kan ya. Kambing, babi.
Bener Kak.
Oke teman-teman, segitu dulu sesi hadiahnya. Tapi jangan kemana-mana, tenang aja karena masih banyak hadiah dari sponsor kita hari ini ya Radit.
Masih banyak banget Kak.
Dan nanti akan ada sesi selanjutnya, jadi teman-teman boleh istirahat sebentar, karena nanti akan ada pembicara lagi. Dari mana, ada yang tahu? Oke, betul.
Oh, semangat kayaknya ya.
Betul, kami juga mengucapkan terima kasih kepada para pihak yang telah mendukung acara pada pagi hari ini, di antaranya ada PT Zoetis Indonesia, PT MSD, PT Eka Pharma,
PT MV Industry, PT MSD Animal Health, dan Zoetis Indonesia.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments, we will begin our international seminar. We kindly ask that everyone take their seats and please put all communication devices in silent mode. Thank you. Bapak Ibu yang terhormat, para tamu dipersilahkan duduk di tempat masing-masing. Kita akan segera memulai seminar internasional kita pada pagi hari ini. Ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments, we will begin our international seminar. We kindly ask that everyone take their seats and please put all communication devices in silent mode. Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Your Honorable Dr. Emmanuel Soberang, Director General World Organization of Animal Health, Your Honorable Director General of Livestock and Animal Health, represented by the Secretary of the Directorate General of Livestock and Animal Health Services, Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Nuryani Zainuddin, Rector of IPB University, represented by the Vice Rector for Academic and Students Affairs, Professor Denny Noviana, Dr. Hirofumi Kugita, Regional Representative, Asia Pacific, Directors and representatives of the Ministry of Agriculture, Republic Indonesia, Professor Amrosi, Dean of the School of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, distinguished guests from the Association of Veterinary Faculties in Indonesia, the private sectors, esteemed colleagues, students, and all participants who are gathered here in this wonderful day. Welcome to the International Seminar, Building Veterinary Excellence, the Role of World Organization for Animal Health, or WOAH. Let's have a warm round of applause for this international event today. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Dordia Rotinsulu. I am a veterinarian and also a lecturer at the School of Veterinary Medicine, and your Master of Seminar is proudly joint organized by the School of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, IPB University, the Ministry of Agriculture, Republic of Indonesia, and the World Organization for Animal Health. Without further ado, let's move right into the opening ceremony of this international seminar. To begin our event today, we will first sing together the national anthem of Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem, Indonesia Raya.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will now listen to two remarks. The first remarks will be delivered by the Vice Rector for Academic and Students Affairs, IPB University, Professor Dr. Denny Noviana. I would like to kindly invite Professor Denny Noviana to the stage to deliver his opening remarks. Professor, the stage is yours.
Your Excellency, Dr. Director General of the World Organization for Animal Health, distinguished keynote speaker for this commitment, Director General of Livestock and Animal Health, Ministry of Agriculture, Republic of Indonesia, Dr. World Regional Representative for Asia Pacific, General Officer of the World Organization for Animal Health, Dean of the School of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, IPB University, distinguished professors, lecturers, and esteemed colleagues, esteemed participants, including veterinary professional, academic, postgraduate students, and representative for the private sector, joining us both here on site and online. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning and warm greetings to all. It is a profound pleasure and honor to welcome you all to this crucial the School of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences. This event is a testament to our shared commitment to advancing veterinary excellence, a mission that is more vital than ever in a world facing complex global health challenges. Today, we are especially privileged to host Dr. Emmanuel Sobrang, the Director General of WOAH, whose presence underscores the global importance of our discussion. Her presentation, Building Veterinary Excellence, the Role of the World Organization for Animal Health, will undoubtedly provide invaluable insight into the international standards and cooperation necessary to safeguard animal health and, by extension, public health. WOAH plays a foundational role in harmonizing global efforts, and we are eager to learn how we can better align our national action with this global imperative. At IPB University, we recognize that the future of animal health in Indonesia rests upon a robust and well-trained veterinary workforce. The School of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences stands as a pillar in this national effort. Our role in building veterinary excellence in Indonesia is multifaceted. 1. Pioneering education. We are dedicated to delivering a world-class curriculum that equips our veterinary students, the future practitioners and researchers, with the cutting-edge knowledge and practical skills required for modern practices. This includes integrating concept of One Health and global health security into our teaching. Second, leading research and innovation. School of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences is at the forefront of disease and surveillance, diagnostic development, and vaccine research relevant to Indonesia endemic and emerging animal disease. Our research directly informs national policies and support the livestock and aquaculture sectors. The third, IPB University, particularly through the School of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, plays a crucial role in developing the Indonesian Assisted Reproductive Technology Center and Biobank as a part of efforts to conserve the genetic diversity of Java and Sumatran rhinoceros, as well as other endangered species, supporting the sustainability and survival of Indonesia rare wildlife. The fourth, professional development. Through a postgraduate program and continuous professional development, we ensure that practicing veterinarian and paraprofessional are constantly upskilled to meet evolving challenges from managing antimicrobial resistance to addressing zoonotic threats. In essence, we serve as a national engine for producing highly competent, ethically minded veterinary professionals and generating the scientific knowledge necessary to protect Indonesia's precious animal resources and contribute to human well-being. The seminar is a platform for synergy. It brings together the wisdom of WOAH, the dedication of our academics,
and the practical experience of veterinary professional and the energy of our student and the private sector. I encourage every participant, whether you are a practitioner in the field, a student in the lecture hall, or researcher in the lab, to actively engage, share your perspective, and forge new collaboration. Let the insight we gain from Dr. Immanuel Soberang and WOAH inspire us to collectively elevate the standard of veterinary practices and education across the nation. On behalf of IPB University, I wish you all have a highly productive and enriching seminar. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Professor Denny Noviana, for your opening remarks. Secretary of the Direktorat Jenderal, Dr. Nuriani Zainuddin, to the stage and deliver her remarks. Dr. Nuriani, the stage is yours.
The Honorable Professor Dr. Arif Satria, Rector of IPB University, on behalf of the Vice Rector of the Academic and Student Affairs, Professor Dr. Denny Noviana, Dr. Emmanuel Soberang, Director General of the WOAH, Dr. Hirofumi Kugita, WOAH Regional Representative for Asia and the Pacific, Senior Official of the World Organization of the Animal Health, Dean of the Faculty of the Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Science, Dr. Ambrosi, Director of the Animal Health, Direktorat Jenderal Livestock and Animal Health Services, Dr. Hendra Wibawa. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning and warm greetings to all. On behalf of the Director General of the Livestock and Animal Health, Ministry of Agriculture, I'm deeply honored to welcome you to this Stadium General held in conjunction with the 34th Conference of the WOAH Regional Commission for the Asia and the Pacific. We appreciate IPB University for hosting this Stadium General and for fostering the academic exchange that complement this high-level technical meeting. Today, gathering is special as it brings together global leader in the veterinary services with the young generation of the student and academic. We are not only discussing about the policy and also strategy at the technical level, but also investing in the people who will carry this mission forward in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, our region continues to face serious challenges like a transboundary animal disease, antimicrobial resistance, wildlife health concern, and the urgent need for stronger the surveillance. The discussion over the past days about the vaccine, about the WOAH reporting, and also reference laboratory network have shown us the importance of the collaboration. Yet, without the professional to apply this knowledge, our progress will remain limited. This is why today, for this meeting, the theme is about the standardizing of the veterinary education and competency is very critical. By harmonizing curriculum and strengthening training, we ensure that veterinarians across the Asia Pacific are prepared to detect outbreak early, respond effectively, and contribute to safe trade and food security. Indonesia has taken steps to advance these goals, consists of the first about the strengthening integrated surveillance, including active search and rapid response system. The second one about the expanding competency-based education and training in line with the WOAH standard. The third about the building national and regional laboratory capacity. And the fourth is promoting responsible antimicrobial resistance through the One Health approach. In addition, Indonesia has been addressing recent animal health challenges such as FMD, foot and mouth disease, avian influenza, and also lumpy skin disease by mobilization of the veterinarian, veterinary paraprofessional, and community level health worker to safeguard livestock and also rural livelihood. At the same time, we continue to invest in the veterinary education with the university introducing update curricula aligned with the WOAH Day 1 competencies and by fostering international partnership for the research and innovation. For us, animal health is not only about the preventing disease, it is about the protecting livelihood, ensuring the supply of safe and halal animal protein, and supporting sustainable national food security. It's also about the preparing veterinarian to take a global role as Indonesia veterinarian services are increasingly active in the regional and international cooperation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, what gives us optimism today is the active role of the university and young professional by combining scientific research, innovation thinking, and policy collaboration. We can strengthen veterinary system that and the future proof. This Stadium General is a platform for that synergy. To the student and veterinary faculty in Indonesia, your role is very essential. Engage in research, bring fresh idea to policy discussion, and help translate scientific evidence into the practical community level intervention. Before I close, I would like to extend my gratitude to WOAH, IPB University, and to all participants for your continued commitment. And my today this session sparked meaningful dialogue and lasting cooperation for the health of the animals and also people across to our region. Thank you very much on behalf of the Direktorat Jenderal Livestock and Animal Health Services, Ministry of Agriculture, Agung Suganda. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nuryani, for your remarks. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, bringing the theme Building Veterinary Excellence, the role of World Organization for Animal Health, through this seminar, we aim to highlight the pivotal role of WOAH in guiding international standards, fostering collaboration among nations, and ensuring the integration of animal health, public health, and sustainable development. We are honored to have the Director General of WOAH who will personally deliver her presentation. To lead the seminar today, I would like to invite the moderator, Professor Dr. Hewan Bambang Ponco Pisuryanto, to the stage. Professor Bambang Ponco Pisuryanto is a senior professor, veterinary pathologist, and biomedical researcher at the School of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Science, IPB University, with over 3 decades of academic and professional contributions. He earned his doctorate in veterinary pathology and preventive medicine from Yamaguchi University, Japan, followed by postdoctoral training at George August University, Germany. His research interests focus on veterinary pathology, zoonotic disease, conservation medicine, biomedical sciences, and the development of natural product-based immunostimulants and biomaterials. He has led and collaborated on more than 50 research projects funded nationally and internationally, resulting in over 90 scientific publications and several granted patents in veterinary and biomedical innovations. Professor Bambang Ponco is also deeply committed to academic leadership and professional services. He has led key leadership roles in national and international professional organizations, including President of the Asian Society of Veterinary Pathology and Senior Counselor of the Asian Society of Conservation Medicine. Currently, he serves as the Secretary General of the Federation of ASEAN Veterinary Association. Professor Bambang, the stage is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, shalom, salve, om swastiastu, nama budaya, salam kebajikan, rahayu. Very good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great honor to privilege to welcome you to all today's seminar. With the entitled Building Veterinary Excellence, the role of the World Organization for Animal Health. We especially delighted to have with us Dr. Emanuela Subrang. Without further delay, before we officially commence this seminar, allow me to present brief curriculum vitae of Dr. Emanuela Subrang. Dr. Emanuela Subrang, a veterinarian by profession, has vast experience and is a specialist in veterinary public health and animal health, crisis management, and One Health. She officially began her terms as the 8th Director General of World Organization for Animal Health on August 1st, 2024 for a 5-year term. She was also a former dean of the National Veterinary School at Lyon, Vet Agro Sub, from 2016 to 2021. She is also the former Deputy Director General for Food within the French Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, the head of French Veterinary Services, as well as the French National Delegate to WOAH. With over 15 years of leadership in national and regional positions, Dr. Subrang is well poised to lead WOAH toward attaining its objective and furthering its mission in the global arena. With her specialization background, Dr. Emanuela Subrang brings extensive experience in addressing animal health issues at both national and international level. She has been at the forefront of managing significant health crises, including avian influenza and blue tongue. Dr. Subrang has led the development of emergency response plans and preventive measures against influenza, African swine fever, and zoonosis. Additionally, she has been a strong advocate for One Health programs, particularly in addressing antimicrobial resistance and zoonosis in collaboration with the human health and environment sector. Gentlemen, please join me to warm welcome with a big applause Dr. Emanuela Subrang.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Professor Dr. Denis Moviana, Vice Rector for Education and Student Affairs of IPB University. Dr. Nouriani excuse me, Secretary of Directorate General of Livestock and Animal Health Services. Professor Ambrosi, Dean of the Veterinary School and Biomedical Sciences. Professor Bambang Ponjo, dear moderator, thank you very much. Dr. Kugita, regional representative for World Veterinary, excuse me, WOAH, World Organization for Animal Health. And dear colleagues, dear students, dear friends, I'm very happy to be here today. As the moderator explained it, I was the Dean of the Veterinary School of Lyon for 5 years. And, and I really appreciated these 5 years, the link with the students and working with young people, people that are the future of our beloved profession, the veterinarian profession. So coming back to the university reminds me these 5 years, and I'm very happy to meet you all today. I have a first question. How many of you, before the conference, have heard about WOAH? Raise your hand. Ah, it's not bad. It's not bad. But I hope after this presentation, everybody will know what is WOAH, the World Organization for Animal Health, and what is the purpose of WOAH, and also what is the purpose of veterinary services all over the world, because we are a big family, the chief veterinary officers and the veterinarian, public veterinarian, but also private veterinarian on the field, which are at the forefront of the surveillance. We are all belonging to the same family, and WOAH is your home. As it was said before, I am here in the Republic of Indonesia because Indonesia is a very important member of WOAH and has decided this year to organize the 34th regional conference, which means that for 4 days, we had very interesting meetings with the chief veterinary officer of all the countries of the Asia-Pacific region. So Australia was there, New Zealand was there, Japan was there, China was there, and all the 30, I cannot, the 30, India was there, 33 countries of the Asia-Pacific. So it shows you the leadership of Indonesia, and I was also very impressed for the presentation of the university I saw just before. I would like, before speaking about explaining you what is WOAH, to take an example, a concrete example to show you, but I'm sure you know it already, but to make you maybe reflect on the importance of the role of veterinarian, not only to improve animal health, but beyond that. So let's take the example of a typical, or maybe it's not the way you eat poultry here, but it is the way we eat poultry in my country, in France. But take a typical consumer product, a product from poultry farming. So what are, in your opinion, what are the potential impact of poultry disease? Let's take, for example, avian influenza. I guess you know very well avian influenza. On the poultry supply chain, there are many consequences of this disease. Can you give me some, do you have ideas? No. So these are all the consequences that you can have of this disease. This disease can have impact on the price. Of course, if you have less product, you will have a big rise of the price. I think you have, I don't know what. well, I can continue. It's okay, or I continue? Okay. So impact on price. I guess you have heard about what happened in the United States this last month. I'm not speaking about presidential election, of course. I'm speaking about avian influenza, lack of eggs, and the very important raise of the price of eggs in the United States. And it was really a big issue because the people that eat a lot of eggs and poor people were not able to buy eggs anymore. So this animal health can have this kind of impact. It has impact on public health. As you know, avian influenza is not a zoonosis for the moment, but is a potential zoonosis. And we already have some human cases linked to avian influenza, so impact on human health. It has also environmental impact. And you may know that there has been a lot of biodiversity loss linked to avian influenza in birds, but also in mammals. Animal welfare issue. When avian influenza, okay, there is the disease, and then one of the ways to deal with the disease is kill the animals. So it is a question of animal welfare, a question of ethical issues. Economy, of course, if you don't have economy, food security, and international trade. If the disease is declaring in a, it's better. If the disease is declared in a country, then the other countries, they don't want to import from your country anymore. So it has a lot of impact on trade. So this what people call veterinarian issue, in fact, has impact on the whole society. Okay. So here you it doesn't work. So here you see the map of the avian influenza from 2005 to 2005 to 2004. And you can see that there is a lot of cases everywhere in the world. At the beginning, it was only the North Hemisphere and only in winter, and now it is completely everywhere. And it affects all the species. So it is really a very global challenges. And as you know, there has been also some cows impacted by, in United States, there had been milk cows that were impacted by avian influenza. So it is really a great big issue. In Indonesia, you were also impacted by the avian influenza, and you put in place a lot of measures, very important measures that were presented by the Ministry of Agriculture during our conferences. One of these big measures was the vaccination against avian influenza, which really make the situation really improved. So on this slides, it's another way of explaining what I already explained to you before, but this is the impact of a disease on multiple issues and the repercussion on several levels in society. Health risk, because it is a virus that constantly mutates. And first it affected birds, and now it also impacts other production systems like cattle, pigs, and that are genetically closer to humans. And it also affects wildlife with consequences, I already said, on biodiversity. Human health risk, we know that there is a risk of pandemics. So that's why it is so important to control the disease and to survey the disease and the mutation of the virus. but also socioeconomic impact. Farmers' income, they can sometimes lose their entire flocks, entire herd overnight, and with social and also psychological impact that entails. Impact ripples through the entire production and supply chain, transporter, distribution, and as I said already, national and international trade. Sometimes major embargoes are imposed on certain products, which is a major issue for larger exporters. You can also have impact on tourists with some disease that people are afraid to go in a country where there is a disease. And so they also raise questions about global challenges, such as climate change, when animals are raised and then killed as part of prevention control effort. Because when you kill animal, when you have avian influenza, you can go very far. For example, I can give you the example of France. We were told that I was the chief veterinary for France, and in 2022, we killed more than 20 million poultry for avian influenza. So it is a waste also, and it has impact, direct impact on climate change. So on this specific issue, what is the work of the World Organization for Animal Health? First, at the World Organization for Animal Health, we receive all the notification from countries with outbreaks. So each time you have outbreaks, it is the delegate from each country has to send us information. So we receive all this information from all over the world, and then we are able to communicate to all other countries what is the situation, which help them to take decision on trade, but also decision on protection in their own countries. We are developing standard guidelines and recommendations, how to deal with the disease, how to be confident in how to be able to declare yourself free from a disease. These are standards that we elaborate all together, and when the 183 members gathers, they validate standards. We also designate WOAH reference laboratories to provide advice and technical assistance for the control and eradication of these viruses. We have around 300 reference laboratories. We also try to raise awareness and help the veterinary service in their countries to raise awareness on animal health issues. And we ensure effective collaboration between animal health experts and human health sector. I guess you know very well the concept of One Health, and you know that for most of the challenges we are facing today, we don't have the answer alone. We need to work with the public health sector, the environmental sector, to tackle the disease. So I will now present you WOAH. So World Organization for Animal Health is an organization dedicated indeed to animal health and animal welfare. A little bit of history. We were created in 1924, so 101 years ago, and we celebrated last year our 100th anniversaries. And why the creation of WOAH? What was the trigger for the creation of WOAH? In fact, something happened in 1920. In 1920, there was a ship going from Brazil to India with zebu in the ship. And this ship stopped in Belgium on the way to from India to Brazil. And that in the port of Anvers. And what happened? Rinderpest, a very big episode of rinderpest. Maybe you don't know rinderpest because rinderpest has disappeared. But it was a terrible disease. And then some veterinary from 28 countries which have contact, because they were, most of them, I think, were professors at universities, and they say we should do something in order to have safe trade. Okay, it's good to have trade, but if the trade is helps, not a good word, but I cannot find another, to the dissemination of disease, then it is not possible. We need to have rules. We need to have standards. And that's how it began with 28 countries that decided we need to work together. And they met in Paris and they created in Paris what was at the time was OIE, l'Office International des Épizooties, which is now World Organization for Animal Health. So from 28 members, we are now 183. So it is a big intergovernmental organization. And we were created before the United Nations. Huh? So it is interesting. The first standard was adopted in 1968. And as I told you, in 2011, we declared the eradication of rinderpest. So it was a great achievement, but we still have work, I will tell you, and you know it very well, because we still have diseases to tackle. So our actions, I already speak a little bit about it before, but we have 4 pillars. First, transparency. As I explained to you, we are managing and sharing information on animal health via a tool, an informatic tool, which is called WOAH. But we can only display what the members send us. So for us, what is very important, and that is the role of the delegate, is that countries are transparent and countries share the data they have. When you have an outbreak, you have to share it. It's sometimes difficult because sometimes some countries are afraid of the consequences, or sometimes countries don't have enough capacities and they don't even know that they have the disease. But it is very important to build this trust between all the countries of the world. The second activity is standards. So we develop international animal health and welfare standards, and we monitor their implementation in countries. So we have international standards for diseases, for official status, free from this or these diseases. We have standards for antimicrobial resistance. I will come back to that later. We have standards for animal welfare. And these standards, they are elaborated by scientific commission. We really rely on expertise. We are a very technical and scientific organization, even though the impact of what we do and the impact of what veterinary service do has political impact, as we saw, impact on food security, impact on public health, impact on economy, impact on trade, impact on climate change. We also develop some global initiatives. So we have global initiatives, I will tell you later, but it is global initiative to tackle the challenges that we have now in animal health, in AMR, and I will develop it later. We usually do that with other international organizations like FAO, like WHO, or Interpol, or some other international organization, because again, it is together that we can tackle the problem, and not alone, the veterinarian alone, but the veterinarians with other people. And we also do something very important, and which is the subject of today, is the capacity building. We really assist country, support country in developing veterinary services, because we need strong veterinary services if we want strong production and if we want trust between countries. So I will not present in detail this slide, just to tell you that we have 183 members. Indonesia is a member, as you know, since 1950, so quite quickly Indonesia was a member. We have one delegate per member. And the delegate of Indonesia is Dr. Agun Suganda, which is the Director General of the Livestock and Animal Health Services Direction. By the way, if I don't mistake, is a former student of this university? Yes. So, and I can also tell you that there are other former students of this university, because Dr. Endra is also from this university, and I don't want to say, Dr. Nouriani is also from this university. So you are very well represented at high level in the veterinary services. And there are other colleagues that are here and are also from this university. What is interesting in this organization, like UN organization, is that one country, one vote. So it is very inclusive. And the standards are adopted by the delegates. So it is scientists who work on the standards, but at the end, the one who adopt the standard are the delegates. And we meet every year in Paris, 1 week during the month of May, at the end of May, and we discussed all these issues and adopt the standards. Our headquarters is in Paris, because as I told you, the organization was created in Paris, but we have regional offices. So we have the regional office for Asia Pacific, which is in Tokyo, in Japan. And Dr. Kugita, who is here, maybe he can stand up. Dr. Kugita is the regional representative in Japan, but there is also a sub-regional representation in Bangkok. And we have the chance to have the Stéphane Renaudin, who is here too, representing the office of Bangkok. Okay. So we really work, and as I told you, we rely on a big network of experts in commission, in working group, in collaborating center, in reference laboratories. So more than 800 experts working for us. We also work with a numerous international partners specializing in a variety of fields. These partnerships are essential to us. We could not act and evolve without this continuous exchange of information and resources. And of course, the partners in the public and private sector with global reach, WHO, FAO, WTO, the World Trade Organization, our standards are recognized by WTO. So if there is a dispute between two countries, let's say France and Indonesia, they can go to WTO, and then WTO will look at the WOAH standard and say, oh, that's what WOAH standard says. So here is, you should do that and that. Huh? So it's very important. Of course, we also work, as I said, with Interpol and also with all the banks that can support veterinary services. Yesterday, we had a very interesting workshop with the World Bank, with the ASEAN Development Bank, and we are in contact with all this bank. And of course, we have also financial partnership in order to help us to deliver some specific program. Oh, pardon. So, no, pardon. Yes. Another way to say what I already said, I think twice, but okay. The impact of animal health on all these issues. That's why the action of WOAH are in support of all these questions: animal welfare, international trade, sustainable animal production. You know that animal in good health is one of the levers of sustainable production and less emission of less gas emissions. So it's a good lever for climate mitigation. Of course, we work on One Health, antimicrobial resistance, food security and food safety, and disease prevention and control. So on all these domains, we apply the 4 actions that I presented before. This is our standards. We have a code for aquatic animals, which becoming more and more important because the production, aquatic production is rising all over the world. Terrestrial animal health code. And then we have what we call the manuals, which are the more specific guidance for laboratory testing, vaccine, quality, etc. And as I told you already, we are recognized by WTO. So what we do is also we recognize official status on some diseases. And since 1998, we have been mandated by the WTO to officially recognize country disease-free areas for trade purposes. So it is true that if you obtain a status of free from diseases, it is then easier for you to go and discuss with trade partner because they have you have like a certificate that you are indeed free from diseases. So every year, countries send us some documents in order to, and then our experts analyze these documents, and we decide to deliver or not to deliver this status. Indonesia had the status of foot and mouth disease, but unfortunately, when the disease came back in 2022, I think, the status was suspended, but I know that you are working hard to recover this status. So for members that are not yet free from a disease, but in progress of controlling and eradicating the disease, WOAH offers the endorsement of the National Official Disease Control Program. This helps members to wider access to international expertise and capacity building activities, more visibility for facilitation and access to international funds, increased engagement of government in disease control and elimination, as well as opportunities for stronger coordination in regional level. This is our WISE system. I don't want to go too far, but as you remember, it is the system to ensure the transparency of the global epidemiological situation. This is very important. We are really the one who are able to give this information of what's going on in the world. As I told you, we are developing global initiatives. We are developing a lot of global initiatives with other international organizations. For example, I can give you, you can see here a few examples on disease eradication. I could speak about foot and mouth disease, about avian influenza, about tuberculosis, and about rabies. I will come back to rabies because we are in 2 days, it will be the World Rabies International Day. We also have a strategy on wildlife health, which is very important because you know that a lot of diseases are transmitted from farm animals to wildlife and from wildlife to farm animals. We could speak about African swine fever or avian influenza. Of course, we are working very hard with WHO, FAO, and the World Health Organization, FAO, and UNEP for the environmental on the One Health program, animal welfare, food safety. Maybe something a little bit new is the biological threat reduction. You know that viruses or bacteria can be really strong weapon, in fact, and can be very dangerous for the security. You can use it in a very bad way. And we are working on how to reduce this biological threat. And we will have a global conference next month in Geneva on this issue. I would like to say a few words on antimicrobial resistance, because you are future practitioners. So I think it is very important that we can speak a little bit about that together. I guess you've already heard about that. I just wanted to recall you a few figures. If we don't do anything, we will have between 2025 and 2050 more than 39 million deaths linked to antimicrobial resistance. I'm speaking about human death here, which is a lot. But what we did recently is we did a study on the impact of antimicrobial resistance on animal production. And what we found is that it will have, if we don't do anything, a lot of impact, really huge impact. I really encourage you to go and see the result of this study. Impact on economy, impact on food security, and impact on production, which can go up to 10 or 15% in some fields. So it is not only a question of human public health, which is already very important, but it is also a question of animal production. So we should really raise awareness among producers of the importance of using less antibiotics in the future. And I wanted to show this. This was a slide that we discussed during these 4 days, during the regional conference. This is the result of antimicrobial use in the world, and antimicrobials decrease. As you see, it is decreasing mostly everywhere, not everywhere, but mostly everywhere. And it is decreasing in the Asia Pacific, which is a good news. But as you can also see, this is the region where the use is very important. So there is a big opportunity here to decrease. And I really wanted to highlight this to you, because I think you are the young one. You are the one who are beginning to work for many, many years after you will leave the school. And I really want to raise the awareness today that you really have a big responsibility in this issue, because you are the one who prescribe the antibiotics. And it is not only an issue of animal production, farm animal production. It is also an issue with pets, because pets, you know, they live very near to their owners. So the transmission is very easy, and the transmission of resistance virus resistance bacteria is really important. I also wanted to raise one global initiative, which is the initiative for eradication of rabies mediated dog mediated rabies by 2030. As you know, tomorrow, not tomorrow, but the 28th will be the World Rabies Days. This year, the logo is Act Now, You, Me, Community. So I know that you have some awareness and some specific actions that are scheduled for this day. And I really encourage you to also as young as future vets to really raise awareness among owners for the importance of vaccination against rabies. This is some photos that were taken on the left. It's in Bali, Indonesia. Of course, vaccination is very important. It is quite easy to vaccinate pets which have owners, because the owners, you can make them responsible for that. It is more difficult to vaccinate dogs that are not belonging to anyone and that are living in the street and eat. So we are helping also, we are assisting our members in developing what we call dog management program. And also we want to try oral vaccination for these dogs. And I'm happy to tell you that you have in the room a young veterinarian, Dr. Irene. She's here. You can also show. And she worked on oral vaccination. And so if you want some information, you can ask her. She just had made her that. We discussed that before arriving. So very important issue. As you know, rabies is a terrible disease. Once you have the first symptom, it's too late for treatment. And still, 60,000 people are dying from rabies in the world, and mostly children. So we really need to tackle these diseases. So veterinary services. Each day, veterinary services work to prevent, identify, and control the emergence and spread of animal diseases, including zoonotic diseases. And thus, veterinary diseases have significant role to play in contributing to the fulfillment of numerous of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Number one, ending poverty. I want to recall you that 1/5 of the world population is engaged in livestock farming. So helping people to farm livestock is important. Number two, ending hunger. 60% more animal protein will be needed to feed the world by 2050. So it is also very important to be able to develop the production. Number three, ensuring healthy life. You know that 60% of the pathogen causing human diseases come from domestic or wildlife animals. Number 8, decent work and economic growth. And you know that 40% of global agriculture value come from livestock. So indeed, it is very important to have strong veterinary services. To have strong veterinary services, we need to have enough veterinarians everywhere, not only in town, but also in the countryside. And we need to have well-trained and well-educated veterinarians, of course. So that's why at WOAH, we have developed we have developed capacity building framework. So, pardon. The first thing we work on is PVS. So it means performance of veterinary services monitoring cycle. So we come here, some experts come, see how the veterinary services are organized. Are there enough people? Are they well trained? Do they have laboratory capacities? Do they have enough universities? How does it work at the university? And do they have a network of veterinarians on the field that can send information and so on and so on? And so we do this evaluation and we then make a report to explain what are the strengths of the country, of the veterinary service in the countries, and what are the weaknesses. And then after that, we are able to support, by targeted support, the capacity building. So we have different levels of support. We have support on legislation, on public-private partnership, on workforce development, on sustainable laboratory, and on One Health integration. And okay, we are particularly interested today by the workforce development support. And your country had the opportunity to benefit from this workforce development support recently. I just want to add something, maybe I was not clear from the beginning, but when I speak about veterinary services, it is not only the public veterinarian working at the Ministry of Agriculture or at the quarantine or at the Ministry of Health. It is all the veterinarians, also the private veterinarians that are part of the system. It is also the laboratories, diagnostic laboratories. It is also the universities. It's the whole system that we are auditing. So for this workforce development program, after the PVS evaluation, the gap analysis, we have tools to assess the workforce assessment. And we also work on the learning needs assessment. We work on awareness, legislation, regulation, education. You can see it. So we can propose twinning programs between universities. We can program also curriculum mission to match the curriculum, and also training system, competency-based training system. And also we work a lot on assisting countries to put in place a public-private partnership. This is also something I want really to add, and I think you know it also, but to tackle animal diseases, it is not only a public issue, I already said it, or a veterinarian issue, but we work with farmers. We work with producers, and we need their involvement. And we need that they understand what we ask them to do. So this is very important that we can work on this public-private partnership. We have developed a recommendation and guidelines, first on veterinarians. So we have developed what we call the Day One competencies that all the veterinary school universities in the world should apply as objective, because it is what does a veterinarian, which day one after the studies should know. should be able to do. And we have also developed guidelines on paraprofessional, veterinary paraprofessional, and community animal health workers. Not only veterinarians are taking care of animal health, and you need, because you are the, I would say, the high-level people in charge of animal health, but you need to be able to delegate and to have people who do some specific work. It can be different kind of work depending on the country, but it can be, for example, taking care of animals or vaccination or whatever. But what is important, again, is the system in general. So we also have developed some training framework, competency-based training systems to strengthen veterinary service worldwide. And we have 16 competency packages with different on different topics, as you can see on the slide. The structure ensures that learners at all stages of their career can progressively build the competencies needed to contribute effectively to veterinary services. We have an e-learning platform, which is a key tool to deliver this training system. It is a free open access resource offering learner-centered, self-paced, and interactive training opportunities. And our e-modules are designed around the competency package that I showed you before, building capacity to implement WOAH standards while reflecting the WOAH knowledge system rooted in international standard and scientific literature. And at the end of each module, there is a test, a final test, and you need a score of 60% or more, and then you received a digital badge and certificate. And universities and training institutions can integrate this e-module directly into undergraduate and postgraduate curricula, ensuring students are exposed early to global veterinary standards and supporting lifelong learning. So I told you that there has been some mission in Indonesia, and I would like to spend a few moments saying that what is our expectation for workforce education and competencies in Indonesia. What we found is that there is a national consensus on national day one competencies and advanced competencies for all categories of the veterinary workforce, in alignment with WOAH guidelines and national requirements. So this strong consensus is very important, and all the universities need to work on this. And of course, we'll be there to help you if you need it. We did a methodological, there is a need of a methodological review and harmonization of curriculum, assessment, and continuous education guidelines for all categories of workforce to meet needed competencies. There are need of national investment for educational infrastructure, strengthening based on transparent assessment and incentivization of institutions for achieving quality certification and accreditation. So certification and accreditation of the university can be a target, a goal, and help you grow. And it's also usually a very good incentive to make some investments. I speak from my own experience. It is true that at Lyon, we have two accreditation. One from the European EVE, European, I don't remember the acronym, European Establishment Veterinary Accreditation. And the other one was from AVMA, American Veterinary Medical Association College. And if everybody when everybody works in trying to obtain disaster accreditation, it gives a lot of dynamic, and then it is also easier to go to the minister and ask for investment, because you say, if you don't give me that, I will not be able to get the accreditation. So it's a good goal also to work to progress. Of a national learning management system that supports continuing education, collaborating with the WOAH training platform, a functional veterinary statutory body. This is very important. A statutory body is the organization for veterinarians that then is leading the veterinary of the country in alignment with the WOAH guideline to regulate the workforce. So really the veterinary statutory body regulates the way workforce is working. So it gives rules in the everyday work, enforce continuing education and implement minimum educational standards, and enabling legislation that support all the above initiatives. So these were the findings and the recommendations that were given to Indonesia, and I'm sure that our colleagues will do all what they can to meet this recommendation. So in conclusion, and we'd like to give a few key messages, and I'm also, I will be very happy to answer all your questions. Animal health is not only a technical veterinarian issue, it has global impact. Threatened foods, animal disease threaten food security and economies, and requiring global coordinated action. And it threatens also public health. So we really need to make our decision maker understand that, yes, we are technical and scientific people, but the work we do has impact on political issue. People need to eat, they need to be in good health. And so this is very important. WOAH is the global authority on animal health. I think now you all know what WOAH is, working to improve animal health and welfare worldwide. Under the authority of the Global Assembly of Delegates, WOAH sets international standards to ensure safe trade, transparency, and to advance animal health and welfare globally. WOAH works with more than 75 partners, 800 experts, fostering international cooperation. We have 13 regional offices, which expands WOAH's global presences, plus the headquarters in Paris. And our regional office builds close ties with its members and promoting its mission. And I can also say that we can have internship at WOAH, because I see young children, not children, young person, I'm sorry. And the last thing I wanted to say is that it is our slogan, our motto: animal health is our health, it's everyone's health. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sobran. It's very wide scope of your presentation on how WOAH works and duties. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering the question and answer session. And I would like to invite all of you, and please, if you have any question, raise your hand. And please keep your question short and clear. So Dr. Sobran will answer also clearly and quick. Thank you. Okay, I would like to open for 3 questions. One, two, from the center. Oh yeah, on the, okay. So please, for the first, yeah.
Okay. First of all, good morning, Dr. Sobrian. My name is Orizalida, and I would like to ask a question to you. Since WOAH is also responsible for bioresistance, how will WOAH tackle an issue such as MRSA? Since a lot of it happens in hospital, like, is it still related to WOAH, a field of expertise, and whether WOAH tackle it in accordance to other public health issues or One Health in general? Thank you.
Yes, it's a very good question, because indeed I wanted to convey you a message that you have a responsibility. But of course, veterinarians and animal health sector are not the only responsible. Maybe the most responsible people are medical doctor and what's happening in hospital. And of course, WOAH is not involved in that because we are only working on animal health. But what we do and what it is done at national level is that we work together. We have a common, a global action plan at a global level with WHO and also with UNEP. I'm sure that at national level, there is also a work hand in hand with public sector. Sometimes, again, I take the example of, I know very well, which is France. We had 2 plans, one for animal health, one for human health. And the plan for animal health succeeded very well, and much better than the plan for public health. But it is true that it has to work hand in hand. And the challenge is really big. But you know, sometimes, I don't know if you have this experience, but the public health sectors, they are sometimes very quick to say that everything is due to the animal health sector and that we should stop antibiotics on animals. I think what is important is not completely stop, because we cannot, but reduce, so better use of them, better prevention with more biosecurity, vaccination. And that's what we are doing at WOAH. We are also giving some list of a disease that can be better prevented by vaccination, but rather than antimicrobial resistant. But I stop here because I promised to make a short answer, but I could speak for hours on this topic.
Thank you, Dr. Sobran.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Dr. Sunu, and then after that, Dr. Yeah. Okay, please. And also we are on the line online, so online platform. So if there is a question, please write in the chat box. Okay,
Thank
please.
you. Thank you. My name is Sunu from this university. Actually, I got the interested question from online, who is watching online. The question is, how could WOAH endorse the day 1 graduate in veterinary schools, since most of our schools here place more emphasis in individual health than herd population health? Thank you.
I don't know exactly the situation of each school of course, in Indonesia, but it is true that in these day 1 competencies, you have different type of competencies to acquire. And epidemiology, for farm animals, biosecurity for farm animals, I mean, what we call population, in English, I don't know, but not individual medicine, but collective herd medicine, and is indeed clearly has in the day one competencies. So it has to be teach in the veterinary school. It is necessary, and we cannot, and if it is not, it is a deficiency, clearly. So veterinary public health, for example, all what we call in general veterinary public health is of course part of the curriculum of the school. Food safety is part of the curriculum.
Yeah, because sometimes the proportion is lacking. But then, yeah, how WOAH encourage schools to increase the curricula for those one?
We produce guidelines. So the best thing for all the people that are listening to us today is to go and see this guideline, and of course first the dean of the veterinary schools and the professors, but also the student can see these guidelines and discuss together how we can, if there is a gap, how we can solve this gap. By the way, these guidelines will be updated soon, but veterinary public health will not disappear, I can tell you. What we would put that is not today is One Health and maybe some issues that are new that we didn't speak before, but veterinary public health will stay in the curriculum.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Zobran. And the next question, please.
Thank you. I'm Desniwati from Indonesian Quarantine Authority. I also represent Indonesia in Balaswati Working Group, Marine Environmental Protection Committee, International Maritime Organization. Indonesian Quarantine Authority has a big concern about maritime biosecurity, especially boundary disease transmission via maritime activities such as ballast water discharge, biofouling, invasive alien species, and like microplastic in aquatic fish, the residue of microplastic. So my question is, does WOAH have any concern or role or program related to the maritime biosecurity? And the second, does WOAH have interconnection with International Maritime Organization related of this matter, or whether this just the responsibility of International Maritime Organization, or will WOAH approach, I mean, also have or give the concern for this maritime biosecurity? Thank you.
Okay, as I explained to you, we are taking care both of terrestrial animals and aquatic animals.
Yes.
That's why we are also concerned, of course, by in aquatic, you can have maritime or fresh, an aquatic. But maritime, of course, is a concern for WOAH. We have experts. We have a commission, a specific commission of experts on aquatic issues. And we have different kind of working group, and we also have reference laboratories or collaborating center. We have been recently approached by International Maritime Scientific Working Group who wants to have a better connection with WOAH. And we are very happy with that, and we will continue this. We want to deepen this coordination with them. So maybe after the meeting, if you are interested, we can discuss about that.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Dr.
thank you.
Desni. And
but microplastic is a limit for us. We are more working on diseases. Microplastic is not our focus.
Yeah. WOAH dealing with disease, but not for the pollutant. I mean, yeah. Okay, so the next question from the center. From the center, okay. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you for the opportunity, Doctor and Professor. My name is Zukrufa Vista, and I'm from a veterinary student. My question is, what are some ways or tips for us, especially future veterinarians, can get involved to contribute to WOAH's goals, especially on WOAH's mission to improve animal health when we're just starting out professionally? Thank you.
Thank you for this good question. First, you can follow us. We have Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. What else? Instagram. Facebook, LinkedIn. You can follow WOAH. You can follow me also if you want. And so you will have all information about what we are doing. You can speak about the organization because, you know, you are vet students, and it was not 100% that raised hand at the beginning of the meeting. Everybody knows WHO, World Health Organization, but not everybody knows WOAH. So you can speak about the organization. You can advocate for animal health, and as I try to do it, advocate for the importance of investing in animal health. You can advocate, I don't know, to politicians because they need to invest in animal health. Of course, you can one day, maybe not today, but one day, you can send us some interesting information that you see around you that you think that we could disseminate. What a success story. And I don't know what you want to do in the future. You want to work with pets, or what is your project?
I actually wanted to be a practitioner.
Okay, it's very good. Practitioner.
Practitioner.
Yes, yeah. Like most of the students, it's so you can take care about AMR. You can advocate for vaccination against rabies. So you have a lot of things to do to help us, really.
Okay. So please follow the Instagram, Facebook, everything with WOAH. Okay.
I like it.
Oh, those. Of course, with the like. Okay, from my right side, one. Yeah, okay, please. Over there. Oh.
Okay, thank you. My name is Luna. I would like to ask, as a veterinary student, I often see the dilemma between animal welfare and zoonotic disease control. Because, for example, like giving a cattle express in natural behavior to allow them to the pasture, or to, in the other hand, keeping them in closed house can reduce disease transmission but limits their welfare. So, and in line with the WOAH vision that health and welfare go hand in hand. So from a One Health perspective and considering climate change and environmental pressures, how can future veterinarians like us advocate for systems that achieve both animals and animals' welfare and disease control? Thank you.
It's a very good question. I think it is maybe that's the difficulty we face today. That we need to conciliate ethical aspiration that are legitimate of the consumers or the citizen, the climate change issues, and animal health and animal welfare, of course. But I think it is possible. I would like again to take the example of avian influenza and the vaccination. As I told you, I come back to my previous experience, and I think that maybe the same, you had the same discussion in Indonesia, but 22 million birds killed. It was not sustainable economically. It was not sustainable on a climate change perspective, and it was not sustainable also. I forgot what I wanted to say, but on an ethical point of view, it was very so. Things have changed since 10, 20, 30 years. We now have very good vaccines. I saw in your presentation that you are very interested in innovation, and I think indeed we need to use innovation to work differently, and also at WOAH, and so also in our standards. So vaccination was a good a decision to take. We decided to vaccinate ducks, and in France, the ducks, they are raised outdoor. And it is true that we prefer to see the cows grazing grazing than the cows inside the house. So I think we need to conciliate all that. But when we decided to vaccinate, it was a way also to conciliate. The only concern we had, and the sector had, was the trade issue. Because we decided to vaccinate, some countries put an embargo on our product, the French product. But we were able to explain that with good surveillance, vaccination was not a problem. With good vaccines, good surveillance, vaccination was not a problem. And I think we need, indeed, you are right, we need to, when we elaborate standards, we need to have in mind all this issue of ethical issue, animal welfare, climate or environmental issues. But for me, it is conciliable, yes. And we need animal protein from animal origin. So we need to produce more with less impact on the environment. And that's a challenge, indeed. And having animals in good health has less impact on the environment. So what the veterinarians are doing in improving animal health has impact on the environment also.
Okay. There is another question from, I saw the guys from, yeah, you, and then next after that, you. Okay.
So good afternoon to Doctor. My name is Harish, and I'm currently undergoing the Veterinary Professional Educational Program by IPB. And my main question to you is, as you've mentioned in your presentation before, that there are some countries that, as you mentioned, that WOAH maintains transparency on the information that they collect. So how does WOAH respond to countries or maybe regions that do not fully cooperate or withhold any information on important disease outbreaks that should be reported immediately? Yeah.
That's also a good question, a tricky one. We have different, okay, I would say the good students, good pupils, they declare. So we don't have any problem. Sometimes they should declare in 24 or 48 hours. Sometimes they take a little bit more time. a few days, but okay, but they declare. Then, as you say, sometimes we think that there is something, but we have no declaration. What we do is that we have a system with veille, how do you say that? Not a survey. We check what's going on in the media, and the media in the scientific publication. So with a system of artificial intelligence, and we check, and then something say, oh, this disease in this country, nothing declared. What's happening? It's strange. There's a scientific who wrote an article on something, but we didn't receive any declaration from the country. So then we get in contact with the country, with our delegate, usually the chief veterinary officer, and we ask for information. We saw this in a newspaper, or we saw this in a scientific article, but there has been no declaration for your country. So what's happening? And in some case, in most of the case, if the information is true, then the country will declare. Then we also have sometimes baby country that don't declare. So we don't have really powerful, for the moment, we don't have powerful tool we don't have penalties or whatever for the moment. So we are now working on changing our regulation. It is a very big work on reviewing our institutional governance and legal governance. But I think that, as I told you before, trust is very important. And when you see a country which has never declared any diseases, can you believe in it? No. So you don't have confidence. So that's why I think it is very important to notify, because if you notify correctly, then the veterinary service from the other country, it knows that you notify when you have something. And if you have nothing, it is because you have nothing. So there is this trust. So it is true that we don't have any mechanism to oblige. We are trying to find everything, and then sometimes the country, when we ask them, we saw this, they have to declare. But if they are completely hiding the problem, then we have no mechanism. But people around know it. So
yeah, thank you, Dr. Sobran. And the last question was short. Yes, yeah, short question, because we are running out of time.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Professor and Doctor, for the opportunity. I want to ask about there are many organizations dedicating to animal health, especially for students. There is IFSA, International Veterinary Student Association. My question is, how does the World Organization for Health coordinate with such organization, and does IFSA play an important role within WOAH initiative? Thank you.
Thank you also for this question. Indeed, we have very good relationship with IFSA. We invite the president and vice president of IFSA at our general session. They interact with usually they come on the floor, and we ask them for their point of view. For example, last general session was on vaccine and vaccination. And it was, and at the end, we asked some people to come and give their feeling about what they have heard, and also their expectation regarding to WOAH. So we really want to strengthen this relationship. My deputy, Dr. François Caillat, is in a relationship with IFSA. We have quarterly, we have meetings every 3 or 4 months, and we really want to use, not to use, but to have good relationship with you, and also to, maybe we can say to use, but to take advantage of you, students, to be also the advocate of this question of importance of animal health. And regarding communication, we would really like, and maybe that's also someone that the colleagues before you ask, and it's a bit, we would really ask for IVSA to help us to transmit some messages. I think messages for other students transmit by a student is much more stronger than by a lady of my age. So, and that's why we really want to work more closer with ESA, also on communication.
Okay, thank you, Doctor, for the.
Yeah, thank you for your information, Dr. Sobran. Here in our university, especially in the faculty, we have also the Veterinary Student Association, and nationally we have, and every faculty of veterinary medicine, they have also a branch of Indonesian Veterinary Student Association and linked to the IFSA International. So they are very active here.
Yes, it's very good. It was the case also in Lyon, and it is very good. And we would like to have more students or young practitioners or young veterinarian coming to the general session. So we would like, but we know it is a cost for the country, so not all the country can do that, but we would really encourage the delegates, the delegation of each country to come to Paris in May with a student or a young professional, and maybe have specific session between all them. It is an idea that we discussed with IVSA recently, and I think it could be really a good evolution.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sobran. Maybe the real last question from me. But before I ask to you, I will ask to Ibu Nuryani atau Pak Hendra, apakah VSB kita sudah terbentuk apa belum? About Indonesian VSB, I ask, is already established or not yet? Bisa Pak? Silahkan. Ya, Veterinary Statutory Body.
Terima kasih Bapak. Untuk VSB kemarin kami sudah tiktokan lah katanya. Sudah saling kontak dengan Pak Ketua PPPDAI dan sudah masuk di proses ke Badan Hukum Notaris. Ya, insya Allah sebentar lagi sudah bisa dibentuk.
Oke.
Ya.
Baik, terima kasih. Karena sudah ada jawaban tadinya, saya mau tanya kepada Dr. Sobran. Actually, I want to ask to you about the VSB, but the Director of Animal Health explained that now is in the process to establish the Indonesian VSB. So applause for us. Hopefully VSB will be established soon. Okay. Okay. Now we are going to the closing of the session. After hearing Dr. Emmanuel Sobran's presentation, allow me to conclude in general. First, WOAH as a global health organization play a crucial role in coordinating and maintaining global animal health, with, of course, with a very wide scope of the animal health. WOAH engages in various activities that require the active participation of all member countries, other organizations as partners, and everyone individually and collectively to achieve animal health through the application and realization of One Health. And each WOAH member country is obligated to comply with all agreed upon regulation to achieve common goals. So the detail already we listened from Dr. Sobran. And finally, on behalf of the committee, we extend our deepest gratitude to Dr. Emmanuel Sobran and also the delegates, my best friend, Dr. Kugita. We are a long time friends. Many times we met in Japan, and also the other delegate, Stefan, and also and of course, all audience here. Thank you. And for the valuable time, knowledge, and experience that Dr. Sobran has shared. We also extend our thanks to all participants who enthusiastically participated, ensuring the smooth and successful running of this event. We sincerely apologize for any shortcoming or inconveniences during the seminar. We hope this event provides tangible benefits for the development of veterinary science and practice and enhance Indonesia's role within the global framework led by WOAH. With that, as a moderator, allow me to conclude the seminar. Thank you for all your attention and participation. Ladies and gentlemen, I will return the microphone to the MC. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon of all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Soberang and also Professor Bambang Ponco for this very interesting discussion. You may go back to your place.
I just say a few words. I'm sorry,
Sure.
I'm disturbing. I just want to wish you a very happy career for you, the students. You are very lucky to be to become veterinarians because you will be able to have a wonderful career, and encourage you also to think about veterinary services, veterinary public health. You have a lot of colleagues here that are, I think, very proud and very happy to serve the public interest, and don't hesitate to speak with them if you can, because it's a wonderful job opportunity too. Thank you.
Once again, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, now we would like to take this opportunity to take a memorable group photo together. With that, I would like to ask all of our distinguished invitees and participants to stand up, but please remain in your position as the photographer will take the photo from the stage.
Oke, siap semuanya ya. Lihat kamera. 3, 2, 1, tujuh. Oke, lagi. Oke, ganti gaya boleh? Oke, ke kanan kok. Kanan kok. 3, 2, 1, tujuh. Oke, cakep.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the conclusion of the International Seminar on Building Veterinary Excellence, the role of WOAH, allow me on behalf of the organizing committee to extend our deepest gratitude to all of you. We sincerely thank our speaker, Dr. Emmanuel Soberang, Director of World Organization of Animal Health, and the moderator, Professor Bambang Ponco, for their invaluable
contribution, which have greatly enriched our understanding of the role of WOAH in advancing veterinary science, animal health, and global collaboration. To all participants, both on-site and also online, your active engagement and thoughtful discussion have made this seminar successful. So let's us carry forward the knowledge, ideas, and inspiration gained here and continue to work together in building veterinary excellence for the benefit of animals, people, and our shared planet. With that, we officially close this international seminar. We wish you all the best and we look forward to meeting again at future collaboration and events. Thank you very much and good day.